Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're talking about farming with broilers. It's basically chickens you raise for meat. Now I know a lot of people want to get into poultry farming, but they get stuck on where to start, how much it costs, and whether there's actually money in it. So in this video, I'm breaking down everything you need to know to start broiler farming in South Africa. From setup cost, feed and profit to a few common mistakes beginners make. Broilers are chickens you grow for meat production. They grow fast, usually ready for slaughter in about 6 weeks. That's the nice thing about broilers. It's a quick turnover business. You can do multiple batches a year if you plan properly. How much does it cost to start? Let's say you start small with around 100 broilers. Day-old chicks cost around 12 Rand on average. So that would be 1,200 Rand for the 100 chicks. You would roughly need between 9 to 10 bags of feed, which cost around 9 Rand a kilogram. Multiply by 500 kilograms needed, it would cost you around 4,500 Rand. You'll also need sawdust and litter, which is roughly 300 Rand. Feeders and drinkers are also important, which is plus minus 1,500 Rand. Electricity, light, medication, and water would cost you for the 100 broilers roughly 1,000 Rand. So your total startup costs for 100 broilers is between 8,000 and 9,000 Rand. You don't need fancy buildings at first. A clean, well-ventilated shack, room, or small structure with good airflow works fine. Just make sure it's dry, safe, and warm. Let's look into the setup and management. Broilers need warmth, especially in the first 2 weeks. You'll need heat lamps or infrared bulbs to keep the chicks around 32 and 35 degrees Celsius at first. Then you slowly lower the temperature each week. Make sure you have clean drinking water at all times and use good quality feed. If you use poor feed, they'll grow slower, eat more, and you lose profit. Broilers eat about 4 to 5 kilograms of feed per bird before they're ready for slaughter. The feed stages usually go like this. Firstly, you'll start with the starter feed for the first 2 weeks. After that, the grower feed for the second to the 4th week. And after the 4th week, we'll start with the finisher. If you're doing 100 birds, expect to buy around 500 kilograms of feed per 6-week cycle. So the question everybody asks is, how much profit can you make? If we look at the math per bird, the chick costs you around 12 Rand, the feed will cost you around 45 Rand. Other costs, electricity, water, sawdust, medicine, is roughly 5 Rand per bird, which accumulates to a total cost of 65 Rand. You can sell a fully grown broiler for anywhere between 90 to 120 Rand, depending on your area and time of the year. With that being said, that's around 25 Rand to 50 Rand profit per bird. If you do 100 birds, that's about 2,500 Rand to 5,000 Rand profit every 6 weeks. If you repeat that 6 times a year, it adds up nicely, especially once you scale up. Other common questions people ask: can I start in my backyard? Absolutely. Just make sure it's clean, dry, and safe from dogs, rats, and weather. Do broilers need vaccines? Yes. Most suppliers will tell you which vaccines are needed. Don't skip it. Diseases can wipe out your whole batch. Can I use normal light bulbs for heat? You can, but infrared bulbs are safer and more efficient. Where do I market the chickens? Start local. Friends, family, neighbors, spaza shops, or even on Facebook Marketplace. Once you grow, approach butcheries and restaurants. Another question people have is broiler farming profitable? Definitely, but only if you manage feed and mortality carefully. Every dead bird is lost profit, so good management is key. Here are some of the mistakes that you should avoid. Firstly, overcrowding. Give them space. At least 8 to 10 birds per square meter. Secondly, dirty water or feeders. That's how diseases spread. And thirdly, buying from unverified suppliers. Always buy chicks from reliable hatcheries. Another mistake to avoid, skipping records. Write down how much feed they eat and when. It helps you track profits and losses. Broiler farming can be one of the fastest and most consistent ways to make income in South Africa if you manage it properly. So be patient, keep it clean, and don't chase shortcuts. Today we are visiting Feathered Friends & Co. They just received their 2-day-old chicks this morning. As you can see, they are very small and fragile, so a clean and safe environment is very important. Clean drinking water is also necessary to minimize mortality. Like we mentioned earlier, these chicks cost between 10 and 15 Rand each, depending from where you buy them. Here's an interesting fact. Chicks double their weight in the first 2 to 3 days after hatching. Another thing you need to be aware of is Continuous light encourages eating and drinking, where darkness encourages piling and chilling, which can cause mortality. As you can see, these are 2-week-old chicks and they weigh roughly around 500 grams. So they went from around 50 grams to 500 grams in just 14 days. These chicks are starting to look more like small chickens. They have a lot less fluff and more feathers. This is the part where they transition to grower feed and move away from starter feed. Next, we'll show you what the 4-week-old birds would look like. As you can see, these are the 4-week-old birds. They are a lot bigger, they have a lot more feathers, and as you can see, they've grown significantly compared to the 2-week-old chicks we've previously showed you. This is the fastest growth phase. In this phase, they have the most efficient feed to meat conversion ratio. So finally, we are at the finished product. These chickens are 6 weeks old. An interesting fact is that they are one of the fastest growing animals on earth. Another interesting fact, if a human baby grew as fast as a broiler, it would weigh around 150 kilograms at just 6 weeks old. As you can see, ventilation is very important, as well as the largest space that is needed for the chickens to reach their maximum potential. This process from hatchling to a market-ready chicken took just 6 weeks. That's what makes it so exciting and such a profitable farming operation. So that's the full guide on how to start broiler farming in South Africa. If you found this helpful, drop a like and let me know in the comments what you would like us to cover next.